sort of feel like I don't know where to start. I'm an NDIS participant myself for a congenital spinal cord injury, and also what seems to be linked to what we've been trying to find out with my daughter is we finally had a genome-wide sequencing done last year, and it looks like I am the dominant carrier for a gene that's related to neuromuscular disease, but also presents as autism and intellectual disability and a range of things that my daughter has. So we're both SWANs, and Heather's been supporting us both for a long time now. The NDIS for us came in quite late comparatively to Victoria. So I'm up in the Moreton Bay region, and I think we were one of the last regions in Australia to get the NDIS. So it was 2019 that we accessed it for Bethany. And I think it's just immediately they couldn't comprehend the complexity of her care. They seemed to be well intended, but the inability, I think, to actually interpret the reports that they were given and the information that was presented to them as evidence. You could put anything in front of someone, but if they don't have the clinical knowledge to interpret what's being said, then there's no point in producing that information to them. So that's probably been one of the biggest issues that I've had, is the lack of access to the complex case management team, where I think a lot of our children would probably benefit from. That's when you're sort of dealing with, people who are trained as allied health professionals. So I think the biggest gap for me is that just the pure complexity of both of our cases. Some of the employees, you ask them what their background is, and okay, they might be a parent of a child with a disability, or they may have, worked as a support worker for a period of time, but it certainly doesn't give them that complex understanding of what one particular child goes through, especially as a rare disease child. So, and especially I think if the medical team are struggling to understand what's going on, then certainly a layperson at the NDIS will have no idea. So it's really important that they read these reports and really accept the information that's given to them. But very sadly, that doesn't happen. There's a lot of, I'm not sure the right word to use. They don't like to be questioned about their experience and their past work history and their level of knowledge. So that lack of transparency as to who you're actually dealing with and their ability to, interpret the information is quite limited. I think as well as that, it's just every single person, every time you contact them, it's a different person. So because there's no continuity of care for very straightforward cases, potentially, that's hard enough to deal with. But when you've got these incredibly complex cases, with both Bethany and I, we have periods of deteriorating very rapidly to the point which, our team can't keep on top of our deterioration. So why on earth, with all the structures in place to make things hard for participants and carers in the NDIS, there's just no way of keeping supports reflective of what's currently going on with people's lives. And I think that's the other one of the main problems that I've had with the NDIS as well, that if you can't have that one point of contact to deal with, it's very difficult to explain a case that's so complex and then put in details or make it sort of fully understood how significant the decline has been. So I've had significant funding cut for myself, a terrible amount of funding cut for Bethany. I have written to Linda Reynolds and Bill Shorten and contacted PMs in the local area, made formal complaints to the NDIA. I've been through the whole mess of circumstance, and I think the outcome is that they're not interested in changing themselves, mostly because they're obviously given directions as to what they can and can't do. But it feels like, as a participant and a parent carer, it feels like they're not actually there to support the people with disabilities and their families. They're set up to now think that we're all trying to access more than what we're supposed to, even though, you know, most of us potentially come from the system previously, this state-based system where we didn't actually access anything in the first place. So Disability Support Queensland, the people that I worked with there were all amazing, but there was just no funding for anything. And now we've got the complete opposite. Funding's available for people, but you're working with people who have absolutely no idea what's going on.